What's up, Commanders fans? All right, so look, we got to be honest with ourselves. We know we need a lot of things on offense, but there are a lot of things that we need on defense. And if we just talk about what happened last season and how we lost in the playoffs against the same team that we always lose to and we won against, but most of the time we lose to, and the reason why we lost is not because of offense. It is because of defense. We can put up 30 a game, right? Of course, that's what we do. We did that so well last season, right? But the problem, we all know, was defense. We knew that we let up too many yards when we played big games. And if we just talking about the Eagles, that man Saquon Barkley, every time we play this man, he gets over 118 yards. He gets at least 2 touchdowns against us. What are we doing? And everybody's worried about, what in the world? Hold on, let me get that up off me. But everybody's worried about, wide receivers, Everybody's worried about offense. Everybody want to know what running back we're going to get, right? Well, let's focus on the problem, because you can see that we were able to get to the playoffs with a terrible defense, right? We could not stop the run, especially when we came to the people that was in our division. And we can't win if we can't beat the people in our division. Last season, Dallas, of course, they struggled. Dak is injured. So they still went out with Cooper Rush and, at least won one of the games that we played them in. And they wasn't a struggle to beat, but we won against them, right? And another thing is, we dogged the Giants. We beat them twice, but the huge problem that we have in our division is the Eagles. And now they just signed Saquon Barkley and gave this man an extension. I am tired of Saquon Barkley. And this man gets an extension. He already had a 3-year deal. They just gave him two extra years to whoop our ass. Now, are we going to do something about it? Or we can continue to let this man run on us every single game? And within the times, we went against them 3 times. Within the times that we played him, this man has had multiple games when he's had over 60 yards on us. Playoffs, 60-yard run. The game before the playoffs, while we was in the regular season, 60 yards. 68 yards to be exact. And then the first time we played him, 39-yard run. Brian Robinson ain't running over 40 yards. He ain't looking nothing like that. But we still able to make and have great games. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't need our running back to run over 40 yards. It doesn't make a difference. Austin Eckler is good for that. But listen to me. The fact that we don't even have what the Eagles have on offense, and we were still able to make it to the playoffs. We were able to have De'Ami Brown at wide receiver, Olamide Zaccheaus at wide receiver. Listen to me. Jamison Crowder at wide receiver, Luke McCaffrey at wide receiver, and still make it to the playoffs. We were able to make it with a rookie who plays nothing like a rookie, but we were able to have a mediocre. We was expected to have a terrible offensive line this year. We didn't know how it was going to happen. And, Cliff Kingsbury was able to make this thing look seamless. He made it seem like there was no problem. In the first 3 games, all we was talking about, man, y'all need to block. We need to get somebody. We need to do this. We need to do this for Jaden Daniels. Bruh, Coleman is nice. And everything else we were able to do, we just started moving people around and running a lot. So it was just working so well. Cliff, with the with everything he had in his bag, he was using it. And now that we got Debo, okay, cool. We got a guy that can really do more for us. We tried to use Diami and try to make him our switch. The favorite word that everybody like to say, Swiss Army knife. Yeah, we tried to make him that, but he wasn't. He wasn't that. He worked more well on the outside, right? In that spot only. But Debo is big body. You know what I'm saying? Debo is Debo from Friday. Like, he's really him. So the way he plays is perfect for our offense. Okay, cool. We got that solved. And then, we might go out and get somebody else. May not be that big of a name, but as long as we got people to throw to, because you can see Jaden can do whatever with anybody. And of course we have Terry. So I'm not worried about the offense. That wasn't the problem. We was able to still put up 30 points with the people that we had, with the running backs that we had. Come on now. With the tight end that we had. Zach Ertz. Old and dusty. But he's still doing his thing. And I'm sure we're going to pick him up in free agency this season and bring him back. Free agency start Monday. And, Twitter's going to be off the hook. But what I'm saying is the biggest problem that we're having is stopping Saquon Barkley. And we can't stop him. And now we got to face him for the next 5 years. And he won't be a free agent until 2029. Man, y'all don't hear me. It's 2020. We about to start the 2025 season. And we got this man for 5 more years, bruh. I ain't even worried about the money that he getting. I don't care. It's the fact that he's there in our division is what's killing me. And then the fact that we were able to make it to the playoffs and play to the NFC Championship with a terrible defense. And we got exposed. We got exposed on their first drive. And we looked terrible. We got exposed. I'm talking about the Eagles. They first drive, Saquon take it to the house. And I'm like, damn, bro. We knew what the problem was. And that's the chink in our armor. Because our defense, if we can't stop them at all, then we have a problem. Of course we made stops, but we couldn't stop Saquon. And we can't, I'm telling you now, the Eagles, high-scoring offense, right? So what do they need to you need competition. You need somebody to be able to go toe-to-toe with them, right? We can go toe-to-toe with them, right? I'm telling you, if we didn't have as many fumbles, we could have went neck to neck with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and all them guys. We could have scored back to back, right? But what happens when you have a tough defense? You see what they have in Jalen Carter, and everybody else they have on their defense, the middle of their defense, the back end of their defense. Like, come on, bro. If we just had an ounce of that, and we do, but our offensive line needs some work. Our schemes and everything that we need to go with it needs some work. And you see what happens when you don't have an offense and when you don't have a defense that can keep up with their offense. Because if we can't make stops, they're going to keep scoring. And if they stop us, it's a wrap. And you see what happened. We couldn't keep up. Because if guys didn't take care of the ball like they didn't, we can't stay in the game. Offense is good, but you need a defense to complement them. So it's like, all right, cool. Once we get what we need, let's go out and get Trey Hendrickson. Hendrickson. Let's go get him. That guy that's led the league in sacks last season. That's been doing phenomenal over the last 2 seasons. Last 4 seasons with the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. And then had double digits in the last 4 seasons except one. And he had 8. And that's still phenomenal. And last season we had Dante Fowler, who got us to 10.5 sacks. So what are we doing? Bring back Dante, go get Trey, and if we can't get Trey, go get Myles Garrett. Beast. And the way I see it, I know I'm not one of those people that like to give up first round draft picks. But usually, them first round draft picks you need it for the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Usually. Or you need it for a wide receiver. Usually. But we don't need that. And then the fact that we about to extend Terry McLaurin, I keep hearing it. So I know it's true. I know it's about to happen. So obviously, the struggle right now is not wide receiver. It's not quarterback. And within this year, for the next 4 years, come on now. Jaden Daniels is already proven that he's going to get paid, right? We might pay him even early. If we're able to make it to the playoffs in the next 2 years, back to back, we paying him, I'm sure. I'm sure an extension is going to be on the way. But if we just want to capitalize on this time right now, why not go all out? And of course, you can't finish where you left off last season. You got to start over. Every season, you got to start over. You might have ended in an NFC championship and lost. But that means now you got to start over. You got to try again. So that means that where we were last season, we're not going to be right there. We don't know where we're going to be. You don't know what's going to happen. Just because you see what happened to the Eagles. They make it to the Super Bowl next season. They lose in the first round of the next season. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back and make it all the way to the Super Bowl game and win it. You don't know if everybody's not like that. Of course, San Francisco, over the last few years, they've been into the Super Bowl many times, and they've lost many times. So it's not always going to be that way for everybody, every team. Just because you go out and get certain players and you spend a lot of money and you make huge risks, it doesn't happen. But let's capitalize on this time that we do have and go get Jaden Daniels a good defense. Let's go get him some people that he can count on defense to make more stops, to keep players from doing what they did to him. You know what I'm saying? To keep him from working so hard on offense. For him to have a chance to breathe. To not always carry the weight of the whole team at the end of each and every game. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm glad we brought back Bobby Wagner. We got him for another year, and we paying him more. And the reason is because we believe in him, and he showed that he can still play at a high caliber level, and he's familiar with this offense, and he's a leader on the team. And it's making Jaden Daniels happy, and chemistry is everything. So even if you play on the other side of the offense, chemistry is still important. And you need chemistry in the locker room as well. Not just in a certain room in the locker room. You see what I'm saying? Not just wide receiver room. Not just quarterback room. No, the room as a whole. So I'm happy to see him come back. I'm happy that Christopher Rodriguez, we brought him back. We seen some potential in him. And of course, Eric Bieniemy wasn't phenomenal at his job, but he was good at picking out running backs, and he got us a good one. So we still have a lot to do, especially to this defense, because I am tired of Saquon Barkley kicking our ass. And the only way we're going to win this season and be really good and make it to the playoffs is if we dominate the Eagles. We got to figure out what's the answer to stopping this guy. And you can see they already done figured out the answer to making it to the Super Bowl, to winning the Super Bowl. Get your guys on defense, get your guys on offense, make it happen. And that's what we need to do. So hopefully we go out and, get the guys on defense that we need. And you can see that we just got Bobby, and, he had chemistry with Frankie. So them two still there is phenomenal. And they're in their second year. Bruh, that's everything we need right now. We need that. We need that chemistry to stay there. So the middle of our defense is good. The back end needs some work. You know, cornerbacks, we need those. We need defensive ends. You know, we probably need another defensive tackle. We need some guys to be there to lock up that offense that we play against. You know what I'm saying? Whatever offense we decide to play against. But for right now, I feel safe with Jeremy Chin coming back. I feel safe with Quan Martin. Like, I feel safe with those guys. But we do need some guys to really stop the run. And we need to focus on stopping the Eagles. And, of course, the Eagles are not what they are last season because they just got rid of Darius Slay. Of course, he might come back. But who knows? We might even pick him up. He said he was interested as long as the money is right. So it's a lot of possibility. Adam Peters got the money, and Adam Peters got, you know, the knowledge, and he likes that. And he's going to make a sound decision, and he's going to make all the decisions that we would never make, and we don't see coming. But allow him to do his thing, and just sit back and understand that he sees the problems, he sees where we need help at, and he's gonna make it happen. So I can't wait to see what happens. And man, definitely the biggest problem for us this season is the Eagles. We know that, and I'm sure Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and everybody else in their staff know what the problem is. But sometimes we all forget. So I wanted to remind y'all that that's the problem. It's Saquon. It ain't nobody else. Saquon. We can't stop him. We can't do nothing. So I'm out.